Welcome back, everyone. Randall's Island, and we are at race number 3 in the series here. This was again last Sunday. Takes me forever to get to the races, so I figured I don't have time to edit the entire race. What I'm going to do is just go through the entire race with you guys, uncut, and just comment whenever I can. As you can see the numbers that I put on this race, it was really fast race, really hard. Normalized power of like 324 for the actual race itself, and the last 12 minutes about 344. So yeah, that was a hard race. Anyhow, I came to the race originally with actually an offensive mindset. I told myself I'm just gonna attack if the opportunity presenting itself, because two of the strongest guys on the previous 2 races didn't show up. The Veselka guys, Bobby and James, if you guys been following. And I figured if they're not there, that will be actually a good opportunity to attack and maybe try to get a move going, separation, whatever presenting itself. But unfortunately, I came to the race and realized right away there are actually 2 other guys that show up first time racing this season. So one guy is William, that I know actually from riding in the park. I've seen him all the time. He has a freaking crazy engine, and if I have to assume here, probably can put 350, 370, no problem. Can just ride the entire race with an FTP like that. So he would be the guy to look at. And another guy that just upgraded from category 5, I forgot his name, let me just check it up just a second. Oliver. Yes, Oliver, sorry. I'm really bad with names, guys, if you already know me. Anyhow, a real strong dude from category 5, just upgraded from category 5 to category 4. That was his first race with us. Previous 2 races at category 5, he just won by himself, solo. Already testified in one of his videos that his FTP is like 350, so there you go. 2 strong guys, Oliver and William. Both of them had got an FTP of like 350 or north than that. So that race, right away when I realized that, became from an offensive race, again, a mindset of an offensive race, to a defensive race. And that's how I looked at it. Anyhow, this is the neutral lap, 1 neutral lap this time, and I'm just gonna keep on commentating, comment as it goes on the race. Alright, so the race started officially. I was in a good position in the front. As usual, I want to be in the front at Randall's Island. 4th wheel, 5th wheel, all the way up to maybe, down to maybe 6th, 7th, maybe 8th wheel. I don't want to be all the way in the middle of the pack or in the back, because you can miss the moves. It's also a little bit easier when you somewhat in the front. You don't have to accelerate that much, and you avoiding that accordion effect that usually happens in the pack. Because the roads are so narrow and you have all those turns, like this turn here, it's good to be, like you guys already know, 5th, 6th wheel, 3rd wheel, sometimes even 2nd wheel. You'll see me 2nd wheel here on the road for most of this race, actually. So this is first attack already, or a little surge by Jack, Oliver's teammate from the Sentry guys in the front, and we're just following wheels. Alright, second wheel here. And the NYCC rider asking me to come to the front. And now everybody right behind us, so I didn't want to put too much effort into it. If I'm in the front, I'm just going to take a little pull and go back to rest. But there was an attack by Oliver. Again, he is a targeted rider. And I knew that I have to close it right away, so I put more than 1,000 watts initially just for the little sprint. And as you can see, an effort of 600 watts just to close the gap and be on his wheel. I'm not letting him go. You know, if you're smart enough in a race, you know who the strong guys and who to follow. And before he even came to the race, I think it was a mistake by him announcing what's his FTP on Category 5. Once you telling the world how strong you are, or you proving everybody else how strong you are, it's really hard to get away. People know who you are. They targeting you. And as you can see, I'm still putting 5 to 400 watts, and he's opening a little gap on me every now and then. So yeah, he's going really fast. This was his attack, his move, to taste the water, so to speak, most likely. He's taking the corners really well. A gap is opening. I'm not happy about it. By the way, it got much better during the race itself. But even you can say I was in a good shape to follow moves. That wasn't a problem. That day, by the way, just a very important note here. It was not windy at all. Like literally no wind. Usually in Randall's Island, wind plays a big factor. But here, as you can see, I'm assuming at that speed, Oliver in the front here is probably pushing 350 to 400 watts, and I'm on his wheel doing 230, maybe 60. Yeah, I'll say an average of 250 probably on his wheel. So obviously, it's once you're closing the gap and there's no wind, there's no crosswind. It's really easy to sit on someone's wheel and just enjoy the draft and quote-unquote rest. So I'm just covering moves, I'm sorry, and especially the two guys I was talking about. Now, surprisingly, William, you'll see him at the end of the race, he didn't actually participate at all. He wasn't in the front the entire race. He was like all the way in the back until literally the last, I'll say, 2 laps of the race maybe. Then he came to the front and started working. So he's flipping his elbow. He's telling me to work. I'm looking back. Let's see what I'm doing here. I think I noticed everybody else was there. And I didn't want to work. So you can see me taking the... Yep. My teammate here is attacking. So that's a good move. Actually, that's a great counter attack here by my teammate Patrick in the front. So right away... Obviously, I'm not going to chase my teammate, and now that's everyone else's responsibility to close the gap. So that's actually a great move by Patrick here. And he opened the gap right away, so I'll let all the other guys to close the gap. That's NYCC's responsibility, the Century guy's responsibility. Everybody else in the race that is not a Verrazano rider, that's their responsibility to close the gap. I'm just going to follow wheels. Alright, so they're bringing Patrick back. Now the obvious thing is the thing I did in the race is keep checking on my left because the counter attack can come. And as I was suspected, you see a little surge on the left here. Now, I was really happy to see my teammates in the front like this. This is really cool. So we were controlling the race. We always followed the right people. Made sure we're not missing the winning move. We sent guys to the front and attacked and covered moves, and that was really good to see. I was really happy about it. The three of us worked really nice in the front. That was really, really good to see. Alright, so an attack is coming from the right here. For some reason it felt like his teammate is actually chasing him. And then over here, finally I realized, okay, he's blocking. And just like before, that was our responsibility to bring that move back. So right away Patrick came to the front and started chasing. Really good teamwork, really. I'm really happy to see that. That's such a nice thing, you know. When you are riding unattached, that's one of the downfalls. You're riding for yourself. And, you know, you can attack and everything, but if you're finding yourself at the wrong place at the wrong time, it's all up to you. And it's nice to see teammates in the front that, you know, working hard to cover moves. And I'll do the same also down the line. You'll see me doing the same in a minute here. Alright, as soon as I saw this attack coming back, I decided I'm gonna counterattack right now myself. That would be a good dig. So I put 700 watts. It's like a slingshot effect. And I open a gap right away in the back. So went up all the way to almost 50 kilometers an hour. That's roughly about 30 miles an hour. Putting 400 watts here. Working really hard. I actually didn't feel that. I mean, it's always easy in the beginning. When you're attacking, you're only really feeling it. Surprisingly, I felt good at that point. I remember I'm looking at my power and I'm seeing myself putting 400 to 500 watts, and it was pretty easy. But it's always catching up. If there's one thing I learned with riding with power for like about 10 years now, is that you're always paying for your efforts. You're not, even if you're not feeling it within a race, you'll feel it down the line. It's just a matter of time. So here I still have a gap. Just a little surge here, tasting the water, getting into an aero position here. But I think somewhere around this point, Oliver, the Cat 5 rider that just upgraded, caught me and brought me back. He was on my wheel somewhere around here, and I decided to shut it down because everybody else were right behind him. If it was only him, I would consider working with him and maybe create a little breakaway going, but no, everybody were right there, so I shut it down. So my teammate here is in front of me, Nafat. It was me, Nafat, and Patrick, the three of us, controlling the race pretty much the entire time. I think Nafat got second or third. Alright, another attack by Jack from Sentry. And we are covering the moves. And as soon as I saw that, I actually asked Patrick here to let the gap open. That was a good move because out of the three in the front, Nafat is probably the strongest guy. That would be great to let the gap open. And Patrick heard me and was setting a false pace, so to speak. And as you can see, the other two right away filled it up. So unfortunately, that move didn't succeed. But again, that was a good move. So Nafat is in the front. You're letting the other guys closing gaps. And there's still a little gap opening in the front here. And we are all together. There's a little surge in the front, I see, but it didn't feel like it was really threatening. Nothing really opened up. So once again, just following wheels. I got my teammate in front of me, feeling in control. That's a good tactic, good race here. Jesse's on my right here. Jesse's a good friend of mine. Really strong, good dude. Really like him. And yeah, just keep on following wheels at that point. Look how easy it is to get a gap going in Randall's Island. At the turn here, we were all together. And just from this little slingshot effect and the accordion effect, there's a gap open. And look at this, right away on the road, there's like 5 to 6 riders with a little gap open of like 2-3 seconds in no time. I had Patrick in the front there, controlling the pace, more people filling in, so eventually we brought them back. But it's just amazing how fast those gaps opening at Randall's Island. That's why you always have to be alert. You always have to look for the right moves, because it can happen at any turn. It's just crazy. We were right there. We were right there in the front just like a moment ago, and a gap just opened right away. Alright, here again, I'm not taking the corner fast enough. Still putting 700 watts, 500, 600 watts. But a gap is opening. Obviously, I wouldn't let the front group go, but still. That was unnecessary. And there you go, we have a flyer in the front here. Who was that flyer? I don't remember. But I wasn't really worried about him because I knew the strongest guys right now are in the back. And Patrick is coming, controlling the front, and yeah, we have another flyer here. Trying to bridge. So let's see what's going on. I remember at that point I decided I'm just following wheels here because I didn't feel that move was threatening enough. Again, the strongest guys are in the field itself. There's no way they're going to let him go. But you have to be very careful when you're playing that game. That game of like looking around and, no, you work. No, you work. No, you're going to work. No, you're the strongest guy. You're going to work, because that's how a winning move usually happens. And the guys in the front can just win, even if they're not the strongest guys in the race itself. So yeah, but I decided to follow moves. I had the hunch, the feeling that this would not be the move. Anyway, let's keep on going here. So Patrick again, such a monster, man. Going to the front, controlling the pace, bringing the flyer back. Maybe it was like 2 of them. Here it is. That's crazy. That's really nice. Patrick, you're the man, buddy. You are the man. Alright, and we're still following wheels here. I think at that point I wanted to move to the front a little bit. But I'm in a good position here. I can see exactly what's going on in front of me. With the natural movement of the group itself. Yeah, it became, what is it now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th wheel. So that's perfect. That's actually perfect. Yep. I got Patrick in the front, controlling the pace. He did a great job. Such a great job, really. Yep, as soon as I saw that move coming, that little surge, I hopped in. But it was more of a control pace. So, second wheel is good for me. Stay away from trouble, right? Randall's Island, you never know when the move's gonna come. So second wheel is good for me as well. I kept on checking, obviously, left and right, left and right. At that place here, it's really hard to attack because the road is so narrow. The road is so narrow here, and it's tough to move up. Little twitch and turn. People are afraid from the boulders on the left and right there, and you are coming into a sharp right turn, so no reason to attack before that. So that's not a good move to attack here. Alright, I'm actually pretty happy with that turn. Again, 800 watts. Everybody doing 800 watts there, whether you like it or not. Closing the gap. Again, second wheel. Always checking my shoulders, see who's coming from where. And here's the attack. Check again. And for whatever, I don't understand that reason. I thought that Oliver will come to the front to block. But he literally chased his own teammate. Why would he do it? Why would you do that? I mean, I think maybe his mindset was, okay, he's setting a pace to set me up for an attack. I don't know. But the way I saw it, Jack actually attacked and had a little gap opened. If I was his teammate, I would just right away stop working or set up a false pace, let everybody else chase him. So for whatever reason, Oliver actually surged himself and brought the entire field to Jack's wheel. So I don't think that was the right move. But as soon as I saw Oliver in the front, of course I would be on his wheel. That's again a target. That's a target. I knew right away that's the wheel I want to follow. He set up a really strong pace, but I can be on his wheel, no problem. Again, no wind that day, so you can see how much the wattage I'm putting. And he's doing 43, 42 kilometers an hour. Again, he's working really hard in the front here. I guess he's so used to category 5 where he can just go to the front and drill it and just drop everybody else. But obviously at category 4, as you guys know already, there are some strong dudes in category 4, especially in New York City. This coming Saturday actually, we have a new race at Queens, and there will be not less than, let's see, 1, 2, 3 riders. So William will be there. I believe Oliver will be there, and also Bobby will be there. I'm calling them the 350 Club. All of them have an FTP of 350. Category 4, man. Really strong riders, all of them. Alright, so I'm following Oliver here. I know he's trying to get away, but not on my watch. Not like that. You need to really search to get away. So I think he realized it here, and he's flipping his elbow. It would have worked maybe in category 5, not in category 4. You really need to know when to attack, the right moves, use the slingshot effect maybe, counter attacks. Again, he was attacking almost his own teammate, so that's really odd to me. But again, I spoke with him before the race. He's riding his bike for a year, so I guess he still have more tactics to learn. Really strong guy. I know he's gonna do well. Probably in no time. He will learn from his mistakes, I'm assuming, and will kill us all in a race. We're all gonna have to follow his attacks. Anyhow, really strong guy. So yeah, this coming Saturday, while Patrick is still working in the front, what a monster. This Saturday we're gonna have 3 strong guys to look at, and I'm not gonna be around for the next 2 weeks, so I'm not sure I'll be able to post the race. Oh yeah, that's an important move here. Look what I did. Actually, I created that gap on purpose. I saw one of our guys, right? Patrick in the front, and I wanted to open a gap to allow him to get away. I think my teammate here, Nafat, didn't realize that, and I was actually trying to explain to him I didn't open the gap because I can't close it. I actually opened it to let Nafat get away. Sorry, Patrick here in the front to get away. Alright, we have another flyer in the front here. So yeah, that's also a tactic. You can have a teammate in the front just rolling along, and then you, like third, fourth wheel, can let a gap open, and that's how you can somehow sometimes create a breakaway going. Here you go. So Nafat is actually attacking, and I wanted to see who's going with him, but once I saw that there were too many guys already following the wheels, I decided, okay, we have to close the gaps here. And I follow the wheels. Let's see what's going on here. I'm not sure. Did he have a gap eventually? Let's keep watching. Oh yeah, now I remember. Okay. So actually right now behind me there's nobody on my wheel. And gaps opening in the front. That would be a great time to actually try to bridge to the front. You can see a move is happening in the front, and I wanted to be in it. If I had the field on my wheel right now, obviously I would have stopped working right away. But because I was all by myself, I decided I'm trying to bridge here. You can see I'm going all aero here. And I bridged to the front group. So we have 2 guys now in the front. 47 kilometers an hour, that's fast. Just had a little surge here. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. We are slowing down here. I got my teammate Nafat in the front, and the pace got slowed down, and they all caught us eventually. So unfortunately, this move didn't succeed. But again, attacks after attacks. That's how it played out the entire race here. And that's why my normalized power was really high. By the way, if anything, I'm really happy to see my power, my data from those races, because these are numbers I've never seen before. So really happy. I'm getting stronger, that's for sure. And yeah, if you guys don't have a normalized power north of 300 and I don't know 20 in these races, it's gonna be really hard to do well. You have to be really tactical. You have to know the tactic, how to save energy. I mean, you can still do well, but again, you have to know the tactics and save your energy and attack, or wait for the sprint at the end if you have a good sprint, because otherwise, like I said before, you need to be in really good shape. Again, category 4, I don't believe I'm saying it this nowadays, that you need to have an FTP of like 320, and there's the attack coming. I'm putting 1000 watts right away to just get on his wheel, and it didn't go anywhere. Second wheel again. But yeah, I was about to say, I remember when I started racing with power back in 2010. My FTP was about 280 back then, and I was one of the strongest guys racing in category 4. That's what I remember, at least. 2010, sorry. What am I saying here? 2010, 2011. Nowadays, if you want to really do well in category 4, I can't believe I'm saying it. You need to have an FTP of like 350. This is crazy. Crazy. Everybody racing in Zwift, everybody have a power meter, everybody racing with the numbers, and they know exactly where they want to go and what to do, and people are strong. They're really strong. Alright, so here I'm putting again another surge just to taste the water. I wanted to see if I can create a separation. There were few guys on my wheel here, and I think it's like a single file here. I'm putting like 500 watts, as you can see, just to counter attack and see if I can create anything, something going, maybe get a separation. But I think that in this point I looked back and I saw that everybody again are on my wheel, so I shut it down. But it's a good surge again. I felt like it was the right time. You can see people are tired. And that's not easy, man. That's not this race wasn't easy. It was a hard race, fast race. We averaged more than 25 miles an hour for the actual race itself. With all the corners and everything, and the surging and the slowing down, that's actually very, very fast. 25.5 miles an hour. Yeah. Alright, and this is how fast it can happen. You see another attack coming from the left here, but I'm too far back. I was trying to recover from my own surge here, and I can't respond. I can't do anything. Once you like 10th wheel back, that's it. The roads again are so narrow. Here the road is really narrow, so what is like maybe 3 wheels, three bikes you can have on that, the width of it, and that's it. You're getting boxed in. The guy that initiated the move from the guys here in the front that's blocking. So you see what they do. They're doing a great job actually. They're just blocking and making sure that move will succeed, trying to make sure the move will succeed and get a gap going. But fortunately enough, actually, I had a teammate, Nafari's there as well, so we didn't have to chase. Patrick was taking that corner too hot, came too hot to the corner there. Anyhow, yep, and he's going off road. Oh my, okay, so gaps starting to opening here, and I had a feeling that I had to close the gaps here. Again, trying not to bring anybody else with me though. So as soon as I saw the guys on the right there accelerating, I accelerated from the left and try to follow their wheels. And here, as soon as I saw, here are the two guys. We are, I think, 2 laps to go here, and we finally see William wearing the red jersey here. Again, he's the second strongest guy that I was talking about. So the two of them are right in front of me, and I didn't care anymore about the move in the front. By the way, we're just lapping here the rest of the group, I believe. So we have William in front of me and Oliver on the right, and I'm following their wheels. I didn't care anymore what happens in the front. I knew that if I want to do well in that race, these are the two guys I want to watch, because they'll close the gaps no problem. They'll probably gonna want to go to the win themselves. So at one point or the other, one of them will attack. So I was at the right place actually. So this guy was going backwards. I had to go around him once again. Had to put a little surge here. But we are approaching the last lap. We're approaching 1 lap to go, and I am at the right place, exactly where I want to be. From my right, William. From my left is Oliver. And as soon as I saw the move going, Jack was actually attacking. And once again, Oliver came to the front. This time I think he's blocking, so at least I'm hoping he's blocking for his team. Yep, Nafar is following the move, and I'm just following wheels here, so I'm at the right place here. Let's see what's going on. Again, I think it's last lap to go. We're flying here. This is like 50 kilometers an hour. That's like 30 miles an hour. Jack really attacked the right place at the right time. If he could have held it, that would have been the winning move. But you need you need to hold like probably 400 to 500 watts constantly. Easier said than done. We are approaching. Hold on a second. What are we approaching here? Is it 2 laps to go or 1 lap to go? Let's see. Alright, I just checked. We're actually approaching 2 laps to go. So Jack is still in the front there, have a gap opening. And we're chasing behind. So that's a really good move by Jack here. But eventually we caught him and brought him back. Whoop, that was, wow, that was really close. And Oliver here is doing the right thing. He's blocking, just following wheels. And what's end up happening, I believe, as soon as we brought in Jack, I think that, again, we are 2 laps to go here. And then Oliver counter-attacked and actually created a really good gap. He like really went fast. Yep, that's him attacking in the front. I don't know if you guys can see that. I was way too far back to really respond here, unfortunately. So I couldn't get on his wheel. That's what happening again. Once you a little bit too far back, you cannot respond. Look at it. Look at this here. I'm really boxed in here. So Oliver have a good gap here. I was really worried at that point that this will be the winning move. But I saw William here in front of me. And that was a little bit more reassuring, because I know that William would not let this gap open. And that would be a good wheel to follow. So, alright, speed is really creeping up here. 48 kilometers an hour. That's like, for you Americans, we're talking about 30 miles an hour. And the guy is drilling it in the front. I have my teammate here chasing. Again, Patrick was chasing the entire race. Literally, like half the race he was in the front. And here's William. So as soon as I saw William coming to the front, I knew he was the wheel to follow. Like I said, like I'm saying, the entire race. He's probably the strongest guy in this race, to be honest with you. The guy's a monster. I knew that would be a good wheel to follow. I didn't want to waste any energy and start chasing That's a good corner here. I didn't want to chase Oliver in the front by myself here and bring everybody else with me, but I knew we're gonna bring him back just for the speed. I mean, there's no way Oliver can just hold that speed all by himself. And once again, as soon as I saw William going to the front here, this was do or die here. Do or die. I'm putting 600 watts just to make. I mean, look how strung out it is. Everybody we're flying here. This is 50 kilometers an hour. This is flying. We are literally flying here. I'm doing more than 500 watts, 600 watts, and we're still going fast. Oh my God, that's crazy. That's crazy. All right, so this is last lap. We are last lap here. We're bringing Oliver back. We. More like William brought him back. Everybody definitely worked their ass off on this last lap here. And we are approaching last lap. So guess what? You're absolutely right. This is the perfect time to counter attack. The two of the strongest guys in the race just worked really hard, one in the attack and one on the chasing behind. So I had to do my do or die Hail Mary last lap attack. I brought it into 52 kilometers an hour. I'm putting 500 watts here. And I had a little gap open, but guess what? William, once again, strongest guy in the race, is on my wheel here. He's telling me to work with him. That's easier said than done at that point. I think that mentally I was already broken because I knew everybody else are right there. They're all on my wheel. Looking in hindsight here, I should have just kept on working as hard as I can. I have this thing that I have to work on. That once I see the entire field behind me, or closing the gap, I'm not gonna only stop working, I'm almost mentally like shutting down. I don't know why I'm doing this, but this is the worst thing you can do as a bike racer. Your mentality have to be keep going as hard as you can. I was in the front of the race here. Why did I stop working? Because from the front of the race, even if you're really, really tired, guess what? Everybody else are tired. And you can maintain in this chicane here, you can maintain your position to the sprint. And even if you're not winning the race, you can get like top 10, top 5. But for whatever reason, I just stopped working. And in this place here, when I realized, okay, I don't want to contest the sprint all the way in the back, from the back, I just stopped working. You see me shutting it down altogether. Because usually my mentality, that's how I am. If I'm not winning the race, I don't care. If I'm getting second, third, or 20th place, it's the same thing for me. But that was the end of the race. Again, a really hard race, really tactical. We worked really nice together as a team, so I'm really, really happy. And I can't wait for Saturday. Saturday will be a great race. Hopefully I'll get you the footage before I'll leave for the next 2 weeks. But until next time, guys, take it easy.